My upgrades are invincible. Chapter 99b, Alt POV, Canon chapter from Martian. Fantasy fiction by Azazyel. Like all its kin before it, it emerged from the dungeon walls, stepping onto a floor of grey stone and swirling white mists. A massive creature of scales and fangs, its body scraped against the ground with a harsh, grating sound that echoed through the cavernous space. Newly born, the monster's mind was a storm of instincts and an alien directive, the wills of its mother-maker-creator-master intertwining with its own, driving it forward with a singular purpose. What was it? An infant dragon, a nascent terror born of the labyrinth. Its purpose? To kill mortals. Lifting its snout, it tasted the air, its forked tongue flicking out to capture the myriad scents that swirled like invisible threads through the mists. There was the metallic tang of ore, the faint sweetness of lingering mana that saturated the dungeon's walls, and the sharp, acrid bite of something alive, moving, nearby. The dragon's glowing amber eyes narrowed, focusing on the source of the scent as it crouched low, ready to hunt. The voice in its mind roared with primal intent: seek them. Chase them. Destroy them. The infant dragon was ready to fulfill its purpose. Instinct stirred within the infant dragon, a pull to seek, explore, and hunt. Its scales, a pale shade of shimmering silver, caught the faint glow of the mists, and its claws made soft clicks against the stone as it padded forward. For a moment, it paused, listening. The dungeon was alive around it, walls shifting faintly, distant roars echoing from unknown depths, and a faint hum of magic coursing through the labyrinth. It was both a cradle and a challenge, a place that birthed creatures like it only to hunt and kill those who lived above. Its glowing crimson eyes narrowed as the living scent grew stronger. Whatever it was, it would be its first enemy. Following the scent, it saw a group of creatures standing on two legs, unlike its superior four-legged form. They moved awkwardly, their limbs thin and frail compared to its powerful build. The voice of its mother-maker-creator-master filled its head, screaming with fiery conviction: these are the enemy. Mortals. They must be chased, hunted, and devoured to the last. The dragon's chest rumbled with a low growl as its instincts aligned with the command. These mortals carried strange tools, gleaming in the misty light, and their voices, sharp, alien sounds, pricked at its ears like an irritant. One of the creatures turned, its face hidden beneath a metal shell, and pointed toward the dragon with a cry. The others spun around, their movements quick but uncoordinated, and the air filled with the clang of weapons and the scent of fear. Fear. The dragon recognized it, a raw, intoxicating aroma that fueled the fire burning within its chest. It stepped forward, claws clicking against the stone, and released a warning hiss, smoke curling from the corners of its maw. The mortals braced themselves, their weapons raised. They were weak but defiant, a trait that stirred something curious within the dragon, a flicker of hesitation that the voice in its head immediately crushed. No mercy. They are prey. With a roar that shook the mist around it, the infant dragon surged forward, its teeth bared and claws outstretched, eager to taste its first victory. That was the first time it had hunted mortals from above the dungeon, but it was far from the last. Unlike its smaller, dumber kin, it was clever enough to discern its limits. It knew when to avoid the mortals who carried too much strength, whose presence radiated danger like an unspoken warning. It listened to its instincts, honed and sharp, guiding it away from battles it could not win and toward prey it could overpower. Each encounter taught it something new. The dragon observed the mortals closely, their patterns, tools, and magic. It recognized the ones who traveled in groups, relying on numbers for strength, and the solitary wanderers who carried power far more significant than their size suggested. In time, it grew more adept, more confident. The dungeon was its home, its hunting ground, and every mortal who entered it was not just prey, but a lesson. It was not like its kin, driven solely by instinct, it was something more. Something greater. The scent of prey lingered in the air, sharp and unmistakable. Two of them. Their footsteps echoed faintly through the mists, drawing closer. The infant dragon hissed, the sound reverberating in the cavern as its glowing crimson eyes locked onto the approaching mortals. These were no aimless wanderers, they moved with purpose, weapons gleaming faintly in their hands. Its instincts roared alongside the will of the dungeon, the voice of its mother maker creator master urging it forward. Prey. Dangerous. Destroy them. The dragon scanned the clearing, its slit pupils narrowing as it searched for more of them. Were these two alone? It sniffed the air, seeking hidden ambushers, but found nothing. The dragon's anger flared. Did these fools think two were enough to challenge it? The larger mortal raised a weapon, a crude, heavy club adorned with metal spikes. The dragon recognized the threat in the way he moved, but it was unafraid. This was its territory, its fight to win. With a roar, the dragon charged forward. The mortals dodged with surprising speed, closing the distance. The smaller one, a swift, furious blur, dashed forward, her spear glinting like a fang in the dim light. The dragon's tail whipped around, a muscular blur aimed at her head, but she ducked beneath it with agility that infuriated the beast. As the dragon turned to face her, the other mortal lunged from its blind spot. Pain erupted across its spine as the club smashed down, cracking its orange-hued scales. The force drove the air from its lungs, and it staggered briefly, flames escaping its maw in a guttural, choking snarl. The dragon retaliated, twisting its long neck to snap its jaws at the larger mortal, but he evaded, rolling out of reach just in time. Its teeth met stone with a resounding crunch, splintering the ground as it roared in frustration. Then came the sharp, agonizing sting of a spear driving through its hind legs. The dragon shrieked, its body trembling as it struggled to move. The pain was blinding, its limbs faltering as it tried to steady itself. But the spear had pinned its legs, leaving it staggering and vulnerable. Another blow struck, this time to its snout. The pain seared through its head, and it hissed in agony, flames sputtering weakly from its maw. It snapped blindly at the air, its movement slowing as the relentless blows from the mortal's spiked club pounded against its skull. The smaller mortal darted in again, her spear carving into its front legs. The dragon's body ached with every movement, its strength ebbing. Its crimson eyes, once filled with the dungeon's rage, began to dull as the repeated strikes clouded its vision. A final, powerful swing shattered its jaw with a sickening crack. The force rippled through its head, and the dragon froze, its body swaying before its legs gave out. Darkness rushed in as its consciousness slipped away, its head hitting the ground with a dull thud. The mortals' voices faded into the background as the dragon's world went silent, the will of the dungeon retreating with its defeat. For now, it was beaten, its purpose unfulfilled. The dragon was awoken from its sleep by pain. It coursed through its body, sharp and relentless, a drumbeat of agony hammering against its will. Every blow from the mortal's club sent tremors through its frame, each strike a vicious reminder of its helplessness. Its once proud scales, forged strong by the dungeon's will, now cracked and bled. Teeth shattered, bones groaned under the pressure, and the searing ache of the spiked club burned deeper into its flesh with every hit. The dragon's instinct screamed at it to fight, to rise and tear these creatures apart. But no matter how it tried, its body refused to obey. Every movement was sluggish, its limbs faltering under the relentless assault. It roared, but even its cries felt weak, swallowed by the unyielding force of the mortal's brutality. As the strikes continued, it curled inward, drawing itself into a ball in a desperate attempt to shield what little remained unbroken. The dungeon's voice, once a commanding presence in its mind, began to waver. The will that had filled it with purpose faltered under the weight of pain and exhaustion. Then came the final blow. A hand forced its head to the ground, holding it there with a strength it could no longer resist. Its crimson eyes met the mortal's, and in that moment, the world seemed to still. The mortal's gaze pierced through it, a strange and overpowering force wrapping around its mind. It felt the dungeon's presence being pushed aside, its fiery rage replaced by an icy clarity. The red glow in its eyes dimmed, fading to a cold, submissive blue. The battle was over, not just in body, but in spirit. The dragon's instincts, its will to fight, even its connection to the dungeon, it all crumbled under the mortal's dominance. For the first time, it felt something it had never known, obedience. It lay motionless as the mortal began to tend to its wounds, pouring strange liquids that stung before soothing. The pain began to ebb, replaced by a dull ache. It didn't resist as it was lifted and carried away, its once proud form reduced to something, owned. In the quiet of its new confinement, the dragon's mind churned. The dungeon's will was gone, replaced by the mortals. It didn't understand this new bond, but it knew one thing with certainty: it belonged to the mortal now.